Hello, everybody, and welcome back today to my F1 2019 Road to Glory. It is part 10 for the Austrian Grand Prix. If you missed last episode in France, then wow, you missed one hell of an episode. I hate the French Grand Prix circuit. I cannot stand the pool card circuit. And I went into that one saying, yeah, I think if we score just a few points today, that'll probably be good. If we just finish the race, I think that'll probably be good. Spoiler alert, we won the French Grand Prix. No idea how we've done that, but we did win the French Grand Prix. And my God, am I pleased about it here? As you can see, we sit fifth in the vehicle performance chart. I believe we sit third in the constructors, yes we do, and fourth in the driver standings. And if you did miss last episode, then a big shock move is that Alex Albon has been dropped by Red Bull halfway through the season. Sergio Perez now takes his slot at Red Bull, and I believe it's Antonio Giovinazzi in the, yes it is, in the Racing Point cars. So a big name lost from this championship then. I mean, well, he was only sitting, what position is that? Let's have a look if I can find it. There we go. I mean, he was sitting ninth, but still, that's a big move mid-season for the Red Bull cars that are sitting fourth in the constructors here. Obviously, Williams still the only team yet to score in this season, but I think it's time we do some qualifying around Austria. I'm looking forward to this circuit. This is a circuit I know well. This is a circuit I enjoy racing at. So hopefully we can, hopefully we can pull off a big result here. Um, I like to think that we can pull off a big result, but at the end of the day, even if we just still pick up points, that's good. I'm going to mute, guys. We're going to lock in on this lap, and I'll see you guys afterwards. Wow, just one race on from our first race win. We're going to get our highest qualifying position ever. P3 then for the Austrian Grand Prix. Our highest ever qualifying was fourth place. We achieved that at the Canadian Grand Prix earlier in this year. And only 6/100ths off pole position from Lewis Hamilton. Wow, I mean, the top three separated by 6/100ths. The top four separated by, the top five separated by a tenth and a half. So that's three different cars within a tenth and a half there, and then there's a big drop off to the Red Bull cars there. Verstappen about 4 tenths behind Hamilton, and then a 9 tenth gap between Perez and Hamilton there. But Antonio Giovinazzi on his first race weekend, obviously we took his seat, so this is his debut Grand Prix. He'll qualify P8 in the Racing Point. Not really surprising there. That Racing Point is a very solid car. And then, yeah, it's just the usual culprits at the back. Although, the Haas is 18th and 20th. So, interesting pace from the two Haas drivers. I would have thought they would have been long beaten by the Williams. No hate towards the Williams cars, but they have just been at the back pretty much every Grand Prix this year. They don't have a lot of pace. But, yeah. We qualify P3, though. I forgot to look where Kimmy was. That's really bad of me, isn't it? So we're going to go into this race then on a bit of a unknown, but well, on Kimmy's side anyway. But yeah, P3 for us then. I'll definitely take that. Our goal is to score 32 points within 2 race weekends, which means bare minimum we've got to get out with 2 second place finishes. So we need the next 2 race weekends to be the 2 best weekends we're going to have. Going to out-qualify Perez though here. but it is looking good. Yeah, we are looking good for the race. Yeah, as you can see, like 32 points. We're not going to pull in as many resource points as usual. If you saw last episode, we had a bit of trouble with our contract. We couldn't really get it signed at a good thing, but I mean, it's going to be like this for 4 races, and then it's going to change. I mean, the contracts fluctuate all the time here. As you can see, we are beating both our teammate and Sergio Perez in our rivalry here. 82 total points, which I think is hilarious because our number is 82, so I think it was meant to be. 1 race win, though, is all we have to our name. And that's our only top 3 finish ever as well. So hopefully we can change that here at the Austrian Grand Prix today. I'm looking forward to this one because I think if we had pace in the French Grand Prix, then hopefully we have... Well, I mean, I think we should have got a podium in Canada. But obviously that contact with Hamilton and then the late race contact with Hulkenberg. I think we could have even had a podium in Monaco. Maybe that's stretching it a bit, but you know, we had a scrappy few races and then we brought it back in France. But here we go then. When the 5 red lights go out, we will be underway for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're racing here at Austria. It's a really good start from us here. We're going to try and jump Bottas straight off the line. We are going to jump Bottas off the line. Hamilton will lead into the first corner there. Oh, we understeer off the circuit a bit there. Not getting the grip we wanted there, but it was a great start there. We're already ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Now we're going to go into the long turn 3 here. It's a long old straight until you get up to turn 3. But here, we're going to get the exit here. Are we going to be able to challenge Lewis Hamilton for the race lead here? I think we are. Down the straight, we're going to have more power than Hamilton. We're going to have higher engine revs. We're going to come to his inside here. And we are going to take the lead on the opening lap here. So it's been a fantastic opening lap for us here. We take the lead from Lewis Hamilton and then Valtteri Bottas as well. But what a fantastic start from us here. We got the traction down, we got away, and we are leading the Austrian Grand Prix. I said I thought we'd have pace around this circuit, but yet again, I didn't expect us to beat the Mercedes cars off the line, although I feel like later on in the race it will come to us. I think usually on the opening lap and, you know, on the starts, we're usually pretty good at making up places. So that's probably why, but, you know, Hamilton, Bottas, they're going to have the slipstream, they're going to have the DRS in another lap, probably, unless we have some mad lap and pull away a second. But we've just got to keep out of trouble, we've just got to keep our nose clean. Yeah, again, I think we're just still aiming for points, aren't we? I think my target finish is like 8th or something. It's either 8th or 10th. And then my expected goal is to qualify 8th or 10th. I can't remember. But yeah, we've just got to keep our nose clean. We've just got to keep having a good race. We have just set the fastest first sector there. So that is very good indeed there. Nobody's going to beat that. But obviously this is the corner where Hamilton has made quite a lot of contact over the years with some cars. And more often than not, it was a Red Bull car. Alex Albon, Lewis Hamilton in 2020. And then Russell and Perez in 2022. Oh, I remember that day. I was not happy when they gave Russell that 5-second time penalty. But here comes Lewis Hamilton then. He's going to get a fantastic run on us here. He's going to be to the inside here. I'm not going to fight it too much. Although he is going to not go through yet though. I tried to give him as much space as possible here. But now Hamilton goes through. Which, this isn't a bad thing for us. Because we are going to have DRS on Lewis Hamilton. Where's the detection zone? There it is. So, you know, Hamilton can do all this he wants there. We're going to get back round the outside of him at turn 1. Here comes Charles Leclerc out of nowhere there. There goes Charles Leclerc past one Mercedes, and he's going to get past the other Mercedes as well. They're 3 wide in the background, the 2 Mercedes cars. And Sebastian Vettel here. I've got a Mercedes somewhere on my inside. There he is. That's Valtteri Bottas. So this top 5 battle is absolutely incredible at the moment. So many cars over the same piece of tarmac here. We're only on lap 3 of the Austrian Grand Prix, and everyone's fighting like it's a world championship on the line. Unreal racing here. But this is some great fun. This is the type of racing I want to see every single Grand Prix. I don't want to run away with victories. I don't want to win every race. I want this series to be, you know, as fun as possible. And obviously, races like this is how it's going to be fun as possible here. But here comes Valtteri Bottas then. The Mercedes cars just get a really good exit off that corner then. Probably a bit more traction there. He's on my inside there. We almost make a bit of contact with him there. But Bottas is going to go through and take the lead. But as I say, that's probably not a bad thing. When we come into the pits, we are going to put a little bit more front wing on. I do need a little bit more front downforce just to get the nose hooked up into corners. But here we go then. Lap 4 of the Austrian Grand Prix. We are going to get the DRS here. We're going to get the run, and you can just see with the DRS and the Ferrari engine in the back of our car how much easier it is to make overtakes down straight here. I think us and the Ferraris are definitely the fastest cars, like in a straight line. I definitely think we have the most underlying pace, but I think everybody else kind of catches up through the corners here. Yeah, the car just feels a bit heavy there. We just need to put a little bit more front wing on. Usually my setup, most circuits, I run the same setup, to be fair. I usually run 9 at the front and 5 at the rear. We're currently on 8 at the front though for some reason. So I just need to put a little bit more front downforce on as well. To be fair, if we were running that in qualifying, you never know, that could have put us on pole position. So very interesting start here to the Grand Prix though. Only lap 4 though, remember. We've still got, well, after this one, we've still got 13 laps to go. Here at Austria, we end up setting our fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But we've just got to stay out of trouble like we are doing so far here. We're starting to pull away from Bottas and Leclerc a bit. It's just to pit on lap 9. We're going to go for a cheeky undercut like we always do and pit lap 8 here. Leclerc versus Bottas now. 9/10 behind us then. If them two keep scrobbling, this could be perfect for us here. We could pull away, get out of their DRS, and then just focus on our own race at our own pace. Come on, like Dr. Seuss rhyming. But that is just what we've got to concentrate. We've just got to concentrate on us. They're faster cars behind us. If they try and overtake us, we're not going to make it too difficult for them. We've just got to, we've just got to stay out of trouble. That's what I was doing in Canada. I went for a silly move on Hamilton, and I didn't expect Hamilton to brake where he was, and I ran straight into the back of him, giving us damage there. Same thing happened at Monaco. We went for some really, really dodgy overtakes, especially on Hulkenberg. We went for some really, really dodgy overtakes. So we just need to be careful. We just need to bide our time. We just need to do what we're doing now. Look, just set our own pace. Just keep going. Just stay out of trouble. Look, if Leclerc wants to overtake us on this straight, he's more than welcome to it. We can get him back in DRS if needs be. But I'm not going to sit here defending. I'm not going to chirp my tyres. I have got to actually save a little bit of fuel, though. We are burning through fuel a little bit. So, yeah, we're just going to stick to our own pace here. We're not going to try and defend, but as I say, if they get past us on a straight and then there's another straight with DRS, obviously we're going to have a go if it's not nothing too dangerous. I'm not going to be lunging up the inside of about 4 cars at a time like I used to be. I mean, you know what happened in Spain when we made contact with Hulkenberg, yeah, getting on the final lap, and that took us out. That could have been 2 more points we scored that day, or even just a single point we scored that day. But we ended up scoring nothing because we hit Hulkenberg on the final lap and spun out. But yeah, I think this is definitely the way to be. The last few races, well, I'll say the last few races, like France, I've kind of gone into this career with a different mindset, Just stay at your own pace, just keep calm, and the race will come to us like it did in France. I don't know if we're going to win this one, obviously, because we've got a lot of very fast cars behind us. But yeah, again, this Alfa Romeo car definitely has the pace. Well, it is a race-winning car, obviously, winning the French Grand Prix. Not that I expected to do that, but we seem to have some really good pace. But yeah, we've just got to, we've just got to stick to our own race. Make sure we pick and choose our battles, I think is what I'm trying to say. Lap 7, though, of the Austrian Grand Prix here. We are currently in the lead. There's Charles Leclerc, the fastest man on track behind us, obviously, with the fastest lap of this race, right behind us here. Hamilton's dropped a long way back here, so I wonder if he was caught up in the battle between the 2 Red Bull cars, or if he has even a bit of damage or a bit of contact here. We've got a car going slowly behind us there. We've got yellow flags out. It's a McLaren that's going slowly, which is going to help our teammate a lot and elevate him into another position. It's Lando Norris who is out of this Grand Prix. There's Leclerc. Stuck a wheel up our inside there. I was dreading turning into that corner a bit, to be fair. I didn't want there to be a monumental pile-up. But here comes Bottas all over the back of Charles Leclerc then. We are 1.1 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack here, so they're not going to have DRS on us, which is perfect news. But Lando Norris out of the Austrian Grand Prix there. Very unfortunate for him. I believe that car was running in the points paying positions, but he is out of this race. So we make our pit stop then on lap 8, now beginning lap 9 here. It was a nice clean pit stop yet again here. We're going to have a bit more front turning, and already the car feels so much better through the corners here. We're going to be a little bit slower now in a straight line, but yet again, I mean, this car is just so far ahead on engine power. Us and the Ferrari's so far ahead on engine power. I don't think it's going to affect us too much here, but the car, you can see, just bites into the corners a lot easier now as we hit half race distance then. So it will be Bottas and Leclerc are squabbling for the lead. I can see it on the mini-map. But we, obviously, I believe, will take that lead back again after all the pit stops. No one pitting yet this lap, so we're probably going to have to deal with the traffic in front of us. But yet again, just like I said earlier, got to keep our nose clean. Now, we run wide a little bit there, the car sliding through the corners, and again they're a little bit wide, but no track limits there. We were just in the circuit, just a little bit wider than I'd like to be, I think is the expression there. Is take a little bit of that curve on the inside, helps the car rotate. And now on the long straight up towards turn 3. Got that other back straight as well, obviously 3 DRS zones on this circuit, all in a row as well. So if you've got a car with good straight line speed like us, I mean, this circuit is an absolute dream to drive. But yeah, I love this circuit. It's a short little circuit. It's like a go-kart track, really. You know, just like a short little track, long straights, few little corners here and there. I mean, it's an awesome circuit. I really like this one. Austria, always in real life, always springs up a good Grand Prix as well. Well, I mean, it has done for the past few years, hasn't it? I mean, it's been some really, really great races there. As now all over the back of Romain Grosjean. Yeah, again, I'm not going to go for it here as we've got cars pitting. There we go. Oh my word, what is happening here? There's so many cars. I hate the pit entry on this circuit, I will say that. You have to bear right over, don't you, here? But we're going to try and get Romain Grosjean now. As there's cars coming out of the pit lane here, we need to try and move past as many of these cars as we can on this straight here. Ricciardo in front of us in the Renault makes a little bit of contact with one of the Toro Rossos, that is. Maybe that's Gasly? We'll have a look here. No, it's Kvyat here. I don't know. I never know which car it is. I always try and guess, and every time I guess, I get it wrong. Maybe I should just keep saying it's Toro Rosso there. Wow, Kvyat cutting right across the front of us there. Lucky we backed out of that one. You see, a few races ago, I would have kept my foot in there, but it's what I mean. Look, we've got to make safe overtakes just like that now. We are past Daniil Kvyat and up into P6 here. Antonio Giovinazzi, he is just running at P5, so, you know, that's not a legitimate P5 place though, but a nice debut for Antonio Giovinazzi. Well, obviously, he made his debut a few years ago. 2017 China, I believe, was his first race there. Well, he only made it a few laps in before hitting the barrier. I believe he was only made it 4 laps in before crashing heavily on the main straight. Very weird place to crash here. But here are the real leaders into the pit lane now. They're all going to make their pit stops. We are going to go right ahead of them all. And it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen hasn't pitted yet, but it is an Alfa Romeo 1-2. We've got to take every win we can at this point, and I will take that as a win. Alfa Romeo 1-2 at the Austrian Grand Prix. Obviously, that is not real at the moment. I wish it was. I dearly wish it was there, but yeah. I mean, the undercut on this game is just so strong. 3.3 seconds ahead of Hamilton and Leclerc. But yeah, 6 laps to go here. Just like I was saying, we've just got to keep, you know, to our own pace now. You know, don't over push the car, don't do anything silly. We're gonna have a nice clean track in front of us. We've just got to just drive, keep cool, calm and collective, and just, you know, race as fair as we can and as hard as we can here. We're actually pulling away from Leclerc there. We've gained 3/10 on him. So, interesting to see here. We do have pace. I mean, I think he might be battling with Hamilton though, but still, it's helping us there as Kimi Räikkönen pulls it into the pit lane. And Sebastian Vettel then, an issue with the Ferrari car. It's not the first time this season we've heard that radio message. Obviously, most of the time though, it's been for Leclerc. He had 2 DNFs in the first 4 races due to engine issues. But this time though, it's going to be Sebastian Vettel. And this could help actually Kimi Räikkönen now, because if you look on the mini-map, that dark red dot just behind the orange one, that's Kimi Räikkönen. That's our teammate there. Then you see that blue dot with a little bit of red on the edge. Well, that is Perez and Vettel battling now. Obviously, the red dot being Vettel in the Ferrari. And we know if there's an issue with the cars, they seem to drop back quite a lot. So if Vettel does end up having a big issue and Perez gets past him fully, and the McLaren catches up here, I mean, look, you can already see the McLaren already starting to catch up. By the end of this race, we've still got 5 laps to go, but by the end of this Grand Prix, Vettel could be getting challenged by Kimi Raikkonen, which would give him another place and us some more points in the Constructors here. Kimi Raikkonen, though, having a solid season. I can't remember what race, but he finished P4. I believe it was Canada he finished 4th place. So both of us having arguably great seasons. Obviously, we've scored quite a lot of points there. But yeah, look, you can already see how Vettel is dropping back massively here. How these engine issues really do affect the cars quite badly now. And you're going to see the McLaren probably draw quite a lot closer down the straight there. Yeah, you can just see Vettel is getting dropped like a stone down the order. But it's going to be the McLaren, the sole remaining McLaren of Carlos Sainz, all over the back then of Sebastian Vettel by the end of this race, I have a feeling. And yeah, look, Vettel just dropping back here. It's been a good first race though for Sergio Perez in the Red Bull car. He's right on the back of the leading lot still. So he'll be definitely happy with that one there. And Red Bull will be happy with that one. Alex Albon, obviously, only scoring 27 points. Or 29, I think. Maybe 29. Only scoring 29 points here in his Red Bull stint. And I mean, you know, if you know the Red Bull team, you know that that is nowhere near acceptable for them. So, I mean, I can't blame him, you know. There's been times where, like, at the start of this season, this car was the 4th worst on the grid. And we were getting overtakes done on Alex Albon. We were overtaking Alex Albon legitimately. Obviously, Australia, he had that engine failure. But we got past him, you know. I mean, there was points of the season where we were fighting both Red Bull cars. And now we are ahead of them both in the Drivers' Championship and in the Constructors. I have a feeling, though, now Perez has joined the team, we are going to struggle to keep that lead on them over in the Constructors' Championship. But if we keep having races like this where we just can pull away from people, I mean, you know, anything's possible by the end of the year. Hey, we could even go on to win the Drivers' Championship. How I would love to say that. But lap 15, then we're going to be starting lap 16 very soon here. And yeah, we're just keeping, see, look, 3.1 seconds to Leclerc. So, you know, he's gained, what, 4/10 on us in, I don't know, 6 laps. So, yeah, this is what I mean. Like, just keep racing, having our own battle with ourselves to, you know, push as hard as we can. But we could try and go for a fastest lap attempt. I don't know whether or not it's going to be a bit risky here. I mean, I'm going to try it this lap. But, yeah, again, not going to try anything silly. I just want to have a nice little push lap here, really see what this car's capable of around this circuit. And yeah, look, and I mean, we've pulled ahead of Leclerc again, like 3.5 seconds. So whether or not that Ferrari has an issue, I don't know. But, oh, one thing I haven't realised is Carlos Sainz is ahead of Sebastian Vettel now. And Vettel will have Raikkonen for company very soon here. So we've got to hope Kimi Raikkonen has the pace, and it looks like he will have the pace, to be all over the back then of Sebastian Vettel. Interesting stuff here at the Austrian Grand Prix. But as I say, it's not the first time we've seen a Ferrari-related issue there. It's like we're still pulling ahead of Charles Leclerc. I don't know if it's because we're pushing this lap and he's probably just conserving his tyres a bit, or, you know, just not pushing as hard as we are. But it's going to be a nice improvement on this lap here. Can we take the fastest lap? No, but we are going to take the fastest final sector of the Grand Prix. I'm going to go for one more push lap and then we'll use the final lap to save it. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to do that. We really messed up that turn 1 exit there. We're not going to use this lap to push here. But 4.3 seconds ahead then of Leclerc. So I wonder if the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc is running into issues, or if that is just our pace. Look, yeah, 4 seconds. So it does make you wonder whether or not both Ferrari cars are running into troubles late on in the day here. But, you know, we have done everything we can this Grand Prix to extract a good result. And it looks like here, as we're going to move on to the final lap in just a couple of moments' time, we are going to get a great result around Austria. As I said going into this one, I'm excited for this Grand Prix. This is a circuit I love. One of my favourite Formula 1 circuits. And I mean, well, it has proved, hasn't it, here? as we round the final two corners. These corners in the wet, absolute nightmare in the wet. Absolute nightmare. But now we are going to start lap 18, the final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix here. As 3.9 seconds is the gap to Charles Leclerc behind here. We get a better run on the exit turn 1 than we did last lap. We should go for the fastest lap this race. This lap, sorry. But no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I might. But here we go then. We round turn 3 here. We are actually on a very good lap here, to be fair. We are on a very, very good lap indeed. But as I say, going into this one, I was excited. We qualified P3, our highest qualifying so far in the career mode. I was looking forward to this one. Off the line, we dropped Valtteri Bottas and immediately moved into second place later on that lap. We got past Lewis Hamilton and took the race lead. We've really had the race lead ever since the first lap. I mean, obviously, we had a little bit of dicing around with Bottas and then Leclerc. But through now, the final two corners there, as we do run very wide yet again through there. But it is going to be 2 race wins in succession for us. We win the Austrian Grand Prix, just like we done in France last time out. It's 2 race wins on the bounce for us at Alfa Romeo Racing. A great result for us here. And I wonder if Kimi Räikkönen did eventually get ahead of Sebastian Vettel here. We'll see. I don't think he did. Oh, he did. Oh, he did get ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Oh, that's great stuff there. So 4 points for Kimi Räikkönen as well. And we look at that, look. We were only just off the fastest lap. We had a 1:85. Fastest lap was a 1:84. So, yeah, we only had another tenth and a half really in it. We would have had the fastest lap. But that is another fantastic result for us here. As we are only now, what's that, 8 points behind Valtteri Bottas in the driver's standings for third. We're still ahead of the Red Bull cars in the in the constructors standing, sorry, and just behind the Ferrari. So I think our goal for this year in the constructors will be, I would think, to try and finish in the top 5. I think ideally top 4, because I think now Perez is at Red Bull. They're going to have some solid races. I think we've got to try and make sure we stay ahead of Racing Point. I think Racing Point is going to be our biggest worry. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Austrian Grand Prix then over and done with. 2 race wins on the bounce for us now. And this car, later on into this, well, I say later on into this season, what are we on? Round 9 is it, I believe. So we're only just hitting half race distance here. This car feels fantastic at the moment. The car is doing really, really well. We can't do anything else until this upgrade has come on. We could get our rear upgrade in there. Oh, do we not have... Oh, the department capacity's reached there. Look, we have perfectly enough downforce points. What am I on about? We have perfectly enough points for it to go on the car there, but we can put a upgrade on. You see, this is the pain we're going to have to overcome for a little while, having way too much, not being able to have enough, like perks to speed up the manufacturing process of the upgrades. Obviously, as part of our contract, for some reason, they wouldn't let me sign a contract with, like good perks on it, which I would hope they would now, because ever since we've signed that contract, we've had 2 race wins on the bounce. So I think now, but this is a set of races I'm really looking forward to. There, we've got the front wing downforce on the car, so now we are ahead of McLaren and Racing Point yet again here. I think it's important though that we do try and get that other upgrade on here. We're going to simulate the practice session of the British Grand Prix, and then try and see if we can get the downforce upgrades on. I don't believe we're going to be able to get the downforce upgrades on from this set of simulations, but if not, we'll just have to wait until the next episode, probably if we do qualifying in the race, just to bump us over the edge to be able to get it. It's 1,020 points we need to do it. Yeah, we don't have enough there. But that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Austrian Grand Prix. 2 race wins on the bounce now for Alfa Romeo, and this car is feeling absolutely fantastic at this stage in the season. I've got 2 of my favourite races coming up now, Silverstone and then the Hockenheim Ring. Absolutely love these 2 circuits, so hopefully we can have good races next time out as well. But guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.